and welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we have a pretty simple and delicious recipe for you. This is for Hushpuppies. Now, for Christmas this year, Chef Caleb and I got an in-home deep fryer, so just like a countertop deep fryer. So we decided we were going to try and do some deep fried things, and one of those recipes is this, the Hushpuppies, and here's our ingredients. We've got some cornmeal, some milk, we're going to use an egg, and some flour, AP flour, some garlic, some baking soda and baking powder, some onion powder, a poblano pepper, and some fresh corn. And all of this is going to be deep fried eventually. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients. So we're going to get our flour, the cornmeal, all of our leavening, so all of the powder and soda. The amounts are all going to be in the description below. We're also going to add a little bit of salt. And then we're just going to blend this together until it's pretty even. Oh, we're also going to add in our onion powder. And you want to use onion powder, not salt. It gives you a little bit more control over how much salt you're adding to the recipe in total. And if you use onion salt, you're really not sure what the proportion is, and you want to, we really wanted that strong onion flavor in this. So we're going to use some onion powder, and then just blend everything together until it's well combined. Now we're going to, meanwhile, start getting our other ingredients together. So first thing we're going to do is chop our garlic. Now we're going to do, instead of chopping it and putting it into our recipe sort of in pieces like this, we're going to crush it. You've seen us do this before for marinades frequently, where we just sort of use the edge of the knife and just sort of make it into a paste. So we're going to take that and add it to the milk, actually. And then when we blend our wet ingredients together, it's just going to spread that flavor a little more evenly. You're not going to get little bites or chunks of garlic in there. And it's just a way to make it a little more consistent. Meanwhile, we're going to take the kernels off of the corn cob, and you just want to, gently cut those off, and you can give it a little scrape as well. You can scrape down the cob once you've cut the kernels off, just to get a little bit of extra flavor. And for the poblano pepper, we're just going to cut this into a pretty fine dice. We want it small. It's going to go into the Hushpuppies raw, so we do want it to be small enough that it'll cook in the deep fryer. And it gives a little pop of color as well. It's really nice to have that little bit of green in there. You can use a hotter pepper if you want. If you'd prefer, you can use jalapenos for this. Then once everything is done, once we've got all our mise en place ready, it's time to get going. So we're going to get the egg into the milk, along with the garlic there. And then we want to give this a pretty decent whisk. We're using a fork. You can use a whisk if you prefer. And you're going to make sure that everything's well combined in there. We're going to add that into our dough, into our dry ingredients. And then we're going to toss it together. We're going to fold it together pretty gently. Now, this might not completely come together. If you feel like it's a little dry, you can add a little bit of water. We did have to add just a little bit of water to this. We're going to add in our other ingredients first. We're going to add in the poblano pepper and the corn. And then we're going to try and get that mixed together. Now you can see it's still pretty tacky. It's clumping together a bit. So we are going to add just a little bit of water. Now we ended up adding just a hair too much water to this, and you'll see in just a moment. So this was our first pass with the water, just to get it moving a little bit. We did make it a little bit too loose. You can see here it's a little bit more runny than we'd hoped, but that's fine. This is a very forgiving recipe. So here is our deep fryer, and we're going to take just a big spoonful. Once it's all well combined and it's mixed all together, you just want to drop it right in. Now here's the only problem when your mixture is a little bit loose, is that it's going to break apart just a little bit in your deep fryer. So that's why you want to try and make it not quite this loose. And of course, you don't need a deep fryer for this. You can do this in a cast iron Dutch oven or a regular Dutch oven, whatever you prefer. You do want to deep fry these, not shallow fry them though, so that they have a little room to move. They puff up a little bit and they make this nice sort of round shape. That means that the leavening has done its job. They've gotten nice and puffy. They're beautiful and crispy on the outside and cooked all the way through. Once they've got that nice golden brown. And you just want to let them drain for a little while. A little bit of seasoning on the outside, a little dash of salt, a little bit of Cajun seasoning if you prefer. And that's it. They're totally ready to eat at this point. You do want to let them cool down just a little bit. They are molten hot inside, but they should end up really nice and fluffy on the inside, crispy golden brown on the outside. Those little bits of poblano pepper and corn should be cooked all the way through. And that's the whole thing. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe, and if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. And remember to love your food.